been a troublemaker, I've been a late night player, I've been broke, it's a joke, I've been a money maker, I've been a record breaker, taking credit as an educator, I've been known to spit the flows and make it shaky, shaky thing, popping, lock and stop and let it hang. Watch us as we drop this hip hop, it's like it stings. We make a whole room drop and everybody sing. We want the funk, we gotta have that funk. We kick it old school, we think we're so cool. We take it back to the past, we gonna act a fool. Up jumps the middle finger, make my Jaeger just a little.
Hello, 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 and welcome to Sports Buzz, a Fanatical View. I am your host, Scott D. Lewis, here live in studio Comcast Cable, Channel 23, downtown Danbury, Connecticut, on this May 16th, middle of May, marching on. Spring weather coming back slightly after, I seriously was just ready to give up. I was done. I thought spring was dead. Mother's Day, Monday and Tuesday, bitter cold, rain nonstop. It was horrible. But it's cleared up some and actually gotten a little bit nice, which is good news for the PGA Championship out there on the island, which we will get to in a moment. But yeah, so, you know, we're feeling a little bit better about spring after
all the rain.
What was a washout for Mother's Day. I feel bad for all the mothers. I hope everybody got out on Saturday instead of Sunday.
Weekend.
Yeah, because Saturday was a nice day, but Sunday was brutal.
And then we went back. We went from that to back to March weather for.
We went more like February. It was cold.
They had snow actually on Monday in the hills.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. It was bitter.
It's like 38 degrees.
Which might be the reason why we have some people sneezing and coughing with colds coming down here in the studio.
Yeah, my lovely bride is homesick.
On your anniversary, well, let's say hello as we hear his voice. My right-hand man, Mr. Bob Broad Jr. there, celebrating his 4th wedding anniversary today.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
We hear the applause from the control room.
Yeah.
How you doing there, Bob? Happy anniversary.
Doing well. We went out to we went out to lunch today. We had a nice little lunch. I got her a few little trinkets. So. But you know, she's not feeling well. It's just this weather has gotten to her, and she's coughing and she's, you know, not feeling up to par, as we'll say.
Well, that is not good that on her anniversary she's not feeling that great.
No.
Of course, she is a mother, and her daughter Jenna, our production assistant extraordinaire, sometimes filling in on the audio board, is here today working for us.
Yes, she is, and she had a great Saturday because she had the...
And there we see Jenna. These are things Jenna does before and during and after the show. She tries to see what she looks like on the camera, checking herself out on the monitor.
Well, she does that on Snapchat and a few of these other things.
All right.
But she had her dance competitions this past weekend. So that really well.
And check out these new graphics.
Yeah, and the sound effects. Where did he find these?
All right. Well, let's stop the suspense and make with the surprise. Bob, do you think your lovely wife would like a happy anniversary cake to help her feel better?
I think she would. Thank you so much.
Or do you think Jenna will eat the whole thing before the show's over and
Jenna
we
will
leave?
probably devour half of it by the time we get home.
You can thank our excellent former and now current director, Mr. David Sweara.
Sweara. I'll just bring it out, I promise.
Of course.
Jen, come on, Jen, say hello. Get on camera.
What up? Peace.
David Sweara is the man. He picked up the cake on his way in today. Thank you so much,
David. I appreciate that.
And we were thinking about you all week. Knew we were celebrating, going to be here today on your actual anniversary. So happy anniversary. I remember the day very well. It was a nice day. What was there? A little rain in the morning, which is good luck for you.
It's good luck.
And it cleared out, and we had a great time over there at the Vespucci Lodge.
Yes, we did.
And it was a fun-filled day. And which one of the kids had a broken arm or something?
That was Jenna.
It was Jenna, in the cast.
In the cast.
But it didn't slow her down at all.
No, it did not.
So that was great. Happy anniversary, Jolene. We hope you feel better.
Yeah, this morning she said she started getting a little nasally and stuff, and it's the weather. It's just the weather has got everybody down. I know.
I would say, as we saw the number up there on the screen, you could call in if you want to wish Bob a happy anniversary, but the phone lines are dead.
Yeah, we have a dead phone today.
Is Candy working on that in the other room? I don't know. But
She is.
that's the number, but the phone lines are dead right now. No phone lines coming in. And I don't know if we went Facebook Live either. There was a problem with that. So
There's been, well, let's put it this way. As of last night, we had a lot of problems with, wires and stuff. So
yeah.
And today we had a major fire.
I saw that. Yeah.
At Paducah Research out in Commerce Park. So there might be a lot.
Even
of
with
stuff
it being
going on.
so wet out, there still can be fires.
Well, no, they had a small explosion, and it just escalated to where we had to literally bring out everybody and to come out for this, because it turned into a hazmat, and
wow.
So we were out there for a while.
Let's mention the Westerners Breakfast, which is coming up fast, a few more weeks away. So we got the picture up on the screen right now, so that's good. We can take a look at that, and Candy can sneak around. While they can't, you don't have to worry, Candy. There's photos up on there. She's trying to fix the phones for us. But Westerners Breakfast coming up June 7th at the Amber Room.
2 weeks, 2 weeks away, right?
I think that's still 3 weeks. There's
3 weeks.
May is a long month this month, even though it's probably the same length as it is every year. But the way the calendar works sometimes, I think that's 3 weeks away.
Yeah, because actually because as of what happened on our wedding day,
sounds like we have
we have liftoff.
Sounds like the phone lines are open. Maybe Strange Man will call now because he wanted to.
Thank you, Candy.
Yeah, I'm going to text Strange Man and tell him phone lines fixed.
But on our wedding day, it was also Armed Forces Day. Which is this weekend. It's this Saturday again. So
okay.
So.
All right, let's get into some of the sports. PGA Championship. I was just checking the leaderboard. I honestly could not find Tiger Woods' name on there, but Brooks Koepka is at -7.
Right.
If anybody in the control room can look that up for me, that would be good. But Brooks Koepka leading at -7. Tommy Fleetwood -3, and then a bunch of guys: Jason Day, Dustin Johnson, Ricky Fowler, Jordan Spieth, and Phil Mickelson at -1. But Koepka is way out in front.
All right.
Of most of the crowd. And I couldn't find Tiger's name on there, so maybe he just didn't have a good day, or he's way down the list. I couldn't see. But they were fortunate to get decent weather today. Is the phone ringing? All right, let's see if it actually worked. Hello, actually, it sounds like the phone line is working. You are live and on the air. This is Sports Buzz.
Hey, Scotty, how are you?
Good, Strange Man.
It's a strange one.
All right, Strange Man. You said this time you got only 5 items instead of 7 from last week. What do you have? We got a show to do.
Yeah.
David says he needs 5 more.
I was going to try and weekend in the studio today, but
Did you hear? You probably didn't hear our open. It is Bob and Jolene's 4th wedding anniversary. If you'd like to wish them a happy anniversary.
Who's that? Godzilla, his wife, Mrs. Godzilla, and Mr. Godzilla?
They're both tall. Bob's the taller of the two. Yes.
Happy anniversary, Bob.
I thought we decided he was going to fill the shoes of Chewbacca, not Godzilla.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the actor that
passed away.
I've met Peter Mayhew in the
I
past.
think this might be an opportunity for Bob. But although there is a remake of Godzilla out there, so maybe Bob can get 2 roles.
No, that's another one that's not going to fizzle as in the movies.
Another Godzilla. Well, some of the Godzilla movies of recent vintage have actually not been so bad, I thought.
But you might have to go to Japan to get that role. All right, listen. I just want to say that I know you're into stuff on the silver screen, so I want to mention the 2 passings of the giants in the entertainment industry.
Doors.
That would be Doris Day.
Yes, passing a.
Yes.
And a lot of people. One thing I didn't know was when she was 87, she recorded her 29th album for Animal Rights. How about that?
That's amazing. Yeah, Doris Day was an absolute icon, a true legend.
He passed
Tim Conway, one of the all-time comedic actors.
And the only thing I can say about him, he was definitely one of the funniest men to walk the planet. So
yeah, him and Harvey Korman as a team on the Carol Burnett show were just tremendous.
Mike's here early.
All right, the Met Maniac Jet Fanatic.
Those are people, the kind of people you want to be around, and you want them to live forever. You know what I mean?
Well, they lived long lives into their late 90s and 80s.
Listen, I was going to make it in the studio, and by popular demand, the Strange Man Trivia is back.
Okay.
Can you do the drum roll or what?
Drum roll, please. All right.
Okay, so here we go. And I'll text you the answer, so maybe you can call, somebody can call with the answer, but I'll text you the answer. So on 128th day of the year, Chris Dale, the last Wednesday.
That's your team. We're still just as bad as my team.
Although Baltimore won the game 2-1, and the O's, listen, the O's stand 22 times, the most since they moved from St. Louis. And I never even knew they started in St. Louis. In 1954, that they moved to Baltimore.
Interesting.
Anyway, here we go.
Yes, but wait, Strange Man, to piggyback on that, where did the Yankees start?
The Yankees, I'm not sure.
In Baltimore.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, so in the 7th inning, Chris Sale struck out the side on 9 pitches. A feat most pitchers dream about.
That is the perfect inning.
And I won't give you the answer. I'll text you the answer so somebody maybe can call in.
Yes, what is that?
And NHL, I got to say, I was going to probably cover it, but the hand-directed clock, which led to the winning goal, probably
what was that?
Because it was non-reviewable. And the last
which is nonsense. It's total nonsense. Yeah, the Bruins.
So Strange Man, over and out for now. God willing. Take care.
Thanks, Strange Man. Take care. Yeah, the NHL rule, we'll get to that in a minute. That ruling is just ridiculous. They got to change that. To piggyback on what he said about Chris Sale, struck out set down the order, side in order on 9 pitches to end his outing in Baltimore. Then he opened up the next outing by striking out the first 6 batters he faced en route to 17 strikeouts in 7 innings, which is a record for most strikeouts through 7. And then, of course, the bullpen gave it up and they lost in extras.
That's par for the course, though, right?
Questions about the Red Sox. Why is Mookie Betts still not batting leadoff? And why do they not have an actual closer on the team?
I mean, what happened to Matt Barnes? I mean, he should be the closer. Right or wrong?
I think the guy they had closing last year should be the closer. And Matt Barnes should be a great setup man, and that should probably be the deal. I don't know, because their bullpen is short right now. It's not a complete bullpen. When you got setup guys closing, and you're going back and forth between the two of them.
Hey, we got problems too in the Mets, so don't feel bad.
Well, I wanted to start the show, and I wanted to wait, though, because we needed the Met Jet Maniac Fanatic here, so we'll get right to this. Last night I had wait, what happened? Who did what? What? Wait, the Jets did who? They fired what?
Yeah.
So Mike McFadden is here. Do you want to shed some light on what the Jets did yesterday, Mike?
There's nothing, I don't know where to begin, first of all. You give complete reign to a guy who's proven up in the NFL, to a guy who, if you were going to get rid of McCagnon, you should have got rid of him when you got rid of Ty Bowles.
Right.
And then you have a clean slate. You could have had Mike McCarthy, okay?
Yeah.
I wasn't a bit, but you could have had, if you were going to make a guy, if you were going to make the coach the general manager, then I would say, okay, if you were going to go that route, hire Mike McCarthy. Because at least the guy has won a Super Bowl.
Right.
And he's shown he knows offensive football, which is one of the problems the Jets had. You go with a guy.
Look, all I can say is, because we're looking at the picture right now, can you trust a man with those eyes?
No, I would not trust him at all.
Oh my God, that picture is psychotic.
And then you have a guy who's making these decisions who has no idea what he's doing. Okay.
Right.
The guy who's actually the true owner of the team is where is he? He's an ambassador in Britain somewhere?
Yeah. So now his
And
his
you want the
brother
fan
that's
base
running it
to
now?
take the team seriously after you've done this stupid stuff? Chris Johnson has no idea what he's doing. Okay,
This
he
is
has
crazy.
absolutely no idea what he's doing. Well, how can you make Adam Gase not only the head coach, but we're going to make him the interim, and then we're going to
the
allow
GM.
him to select his general manager?
Well, this is a reverse order. Basically, usually GMs come in and clear house, but this was a reverse deal where the coach comes in and
Right.
somehow gets the GM out. Very interesting
very-
that
And
that
then
would
you
happen
have-
that way.
But then you have both guys.
But here's the
reporting to
thing.
Oklahoma.
So the Jets' job, you know, when Todd Bowles was hired a few years back, was viewed as probably not a great job at that time. Jets weren't doing very well. They were on the downslide after the Rex years. So over the course of that period of time to Adam Gase getting hired, the Jets' job becomes an actual viewed as a good job because of their personnel. They got the rookie quarterback who's going into his second year. Le'Veon Bell comes in. The GM's putting in places of people. So he's turned the job, the GM, who just got fired, into a good job that Adam Gase would want. So then Adam Gase says, but I don't want the GM who turned this into a good job, which is the reason why I came here.
Right.
I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
That's insanity. So,
Exactly.
and why would you let him run the draft?
Exactly.
You know, he does the
Exactly.
free agent stuff if you're not happy with the direction of the free agent moves. And then Adam Gase now is not going to be friends with the free agents he brought in because he comes out and says he spent too much on these free agents we brought in.
Right.
So you think Le'Veon Bell's going to sit well with that?
Right.
And who is the defensive player? Mosley, is it?
Yeah.
You know, he blatantly came out and said we spent too much for him. And we got the answer. If anybody else, the phone lines are working. So if you want to answer that trivia question, 203-792-4101, what is it called when a pitcher retires the side on 9 pitches, striking out the side on 9 pitches? I've got the answer. I'll save it for a little bit. Any of you guys know? You want to chime in?
Well, I've heard of it.
I've heard of it
Wow.
before, and
Yeah,
I couldn't
I've heard of
remember
it.
it, but now that I see it, I know. So anyways, so PGA, back to that, Tiger Woods is +2. We're going to jump off the football thing, but that was definitely crazy.
Yeah.
I did get that off that while we were talking to Strange Man. Tiger is +2, so not off to a great start off of his defense of the Masters. He took a month off after that. That's not working well for him early. And I wanted to mention also the Preaknesses this weekend. And, you know, I'm still not happy with the DQ, and I'm even less happy with the suspension of the jockey of that horse.
Well, they're suing.
Well, they're suing, but in the short term, you know, they lost.
Right.
And the jockey now is suspended because they're saying he didn't do his job in protecting the other riders. This is totally what he did.
Right.
He totally protected the other riders. So they suspended him 15 days. So he's not going to be able to run in the Preakness on a horse.
Here's the thing: when you're racing,
Really disappointed
the
in
thing
this
is,
outcome.
Scott, when you're racing, right? There's times when, especially in a muddy race,
Yeah.
the horses are going to get close to each other. There's nothing you can do about that.
Andy Byers, who's a great writer for The Post and a longtime horse aficionado, he's completely opposed to what's taking place. And he broke it down. He said, like what you said, horses are going to move. By the letter of the law, you're not allowed to, but of course horses are going to move.
But
if you're going to disqualify everybody, you're going to disqualify everybody at the beginning of the race because
Right,
they're all
not when it
changing
gets-
lanes, cutting everybody off to start.
Right.
And they came around the back corner there, the last turn, and he was ahead and moved a little bit, and he got right back into lane. The jockey did the exact right thing and
Right.
saved the race.
Right, because
and they got
when-
punished for it. And the guy who ended up winning was not affected at all. He was on the outside,
Right.
and he was the one who put in the complaint. The horse who was bumped did not put in the complaint and say, I was affected by this. So really disappointing, and I'm still just disappointed at some of the people who have viewed it as a blatant move by this horse and saying he went 2, 3, 4 lengths when he went like from second lane to third lane and right back in because the jockey did his job.
He's
So I'm
trying to
very
say-
much
because
down
when
on it.
if it's a pouring rain and you're trying to hold a horse, you know,
Yeah.
it's very hard. And
He did everything to save
I know,
everybody.
that's
and he
the
gets
whole thing.
suspended for
You
it,
know,
Luis
if
Saez.
you move over one lane, it has to be justified.
Yep.
You know.
I quickly also just want to mention, because we've been following soccer quite a bit, and of course Americans are hoping that American soccer will get back on track. If you've been following international soccer, you would know that Christian Pulisic has been playing for the Bundesliga team, Borussia Dortmund, and they are one game away from trying to win that Bundesliga title against the powerhouse Bayern Munich. If they win and Munich loses, they will win it. And Pulisic did score a goal in that last game to keep them in contention for that championship. One more game to go, so I wanted to mention that as well. MLB day baseball today. The Mets bases loaded, down by 1 in the 9th. They couldn't come up with the win.
We came up short.
Lose 7-6 against the Nats, who now moved to 18-25. Nationals have had all sorts of problems. Your Mets go in, hit a grand slam in the first inning of the series, and you think they're going to take the series after they win game 1, but they end up losing the next 2. So you fall to 20-22. What are you guys thinking, Mike and Bob, about your Mets? On the radio, it's the sky is falling. Are you guys sky is falling?
I hear the sky falling, yes. In more ways than one. I mean, the bullpen needs to be, I don't know what.
Mike, what are you thinking over there?
There's a lot of stuff that, if I'm Mickey Callaway, I start thinking, I better get this team turned around, or I may not be here too long. That's number one.
Yeah.
And as far as the other things, you got a whole bunch of guys on the team who aren't hitting. Keon Broxton, Canoa's not hitting. Nimmo's not. I mean, and the thing about it is like, at the beginning of the season, this team was hitting and they were doing fine. And for some reason, and I don't know what happened, but they seem to have lost their thought as to what the idea they had going to the their approach.
They had an idea
at the beginning of the season, and then they kind of lost it. I'm like, where did that happen?
They were gelled at the beginning of the season. Now it's all like they.
And I'm not going to even get into the
offensive struggles have been a big problem.
Yeah.
So they sit at 20-22. Who do they go play next after this series in DC?
I think it's wait a minute.
I'm sure they're not doing what the Yankees do, where they take
again?
these little weekend getaways. The Yankees always get that little break in the schedule as these guys talk amongst themselves.
Wow, yet, right?
I shouldn't ask them any
played the
questions.
Marlins for 3. They have
They
the
still don't know
Nationals
how
for 3.
We're not sure.
We're not. That one I'm not sure about.
I'm sure they're not getting what the Yankees always get, these nice little weekend getaways. I noticed the Yankees got one of those go down to Tampa for the weekend, come back.
Yeah.
Usually it's those trips up to Boston for the weekend, then back to the Bronx.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean the Yankees farm team
always
is what's keeping
Yankees.
them going, because the regular players are all getting
26-16. The Yankees, the AAA minor AA team.
Well, was Andujar
that little team that could up in the Bronx.
Shoulder surgery, so
guys keep dropping. Red Sox are 23-20. They definitely have played much better. I'm still concerned about the bullpen as a whole and why the manager switched the lineup. Not good there, I don't think. Twins 27-15. Tribe 22-19. Astros coming to Boston this weekend at 29-15. Mariners, remember, started 11-2. Now 22-23.
Wow.
They have fallen hard. Phillies still on top in your division, 24-18. Bryce Harper leads the league in strikeouts and is batting only about 220. Braves 22-21, Cubs 25-15, Brewers 26-19, Cards 23-20, Pirates 21-19. 4 teams over 500 still a month and a half into the season. Dodgers 29-16, Diamondbacks 24-20, Padres still over 500, 22-21. Home runs and the complaints by the pitchers getting louder. Here's the one stat you need to know about the baseball, and if it's juiced. AAA is using the Major League Baseball this year. Guess what percentage home runs are up in AAA baseball this year after they switched to the baseball that they are now using in the major leagues?
I'll say 40%.
47%. Home runs are up.
Wow.
So,
what do you think about that?
I'm waiting to see what happens with the Westerners. See if it
maybe they'll bring it to the independent leagues and whatnot. The Wooden Bat League.
Yeah.
Bruins go for the sweep tonight. 3-0 up on the Hurricanes. Great performance so far with the Bruins, but in hockey, nothing is done until it's done, so don't let off the gas. Get it done. Finish it tonight. They've won 6 straight overall dating back to the last series. First time they've won that many in a row in the playoffs since 1978. And fourth line depth is a big factor for them. And the Carolina captain taking bad penalties as the Bruins have gotten under his skin quite a bit. And the interesting about Carolina, remember they had to rally from down 2-0 in the first round, win a Game 7 against the defending champs in D.C., and then they swept the Islanders and then had all that rest in between series, and that has now worked out for them.
I like the retro.
Imagine if they go 7 in the first round to win and then sweep the Isles and then get swept out. That'd be interesting. But the big controversy was last night in St. Louis. Sharks get the winner on a blatant hand pass in overtime. They win 5-4 in St. Louis. And this is ridiculous, the ruling. It can't be reviewed because the hand pass went to one player who then passed to the guy who scored the goal. So there's a play in between the hand pass and the goal, so they can't review the goal, which is a joke. This happened earlier in the playoffs in the Columbus series where the play went off the net to a guy who passed to the guy who scored the goal, and they say you can't review it because something happened in between. But if that's the case, why can they review the offside situation where they say we think the play was offside, which multiple passes take place after that? So they allow for that to be reviewed, but this not. St. Louis is furious. They should be. They're now down 2-1 against San Jose. And Jumbo Joe Thornton, the oldest player ever to get 2 goals in a game.
Right.
So hats off to Jumbo Joe, the former Bruin captain himself. You just like to see these guys who run the leagues know how to actually run the leagues and get it right for the sport. How about running the league? Draft lottery, NBA the other night. Knicks fans thought it was going to happen.
And we got
not so fast. There was no frozen ping pong balls, no frozen envelopes. Where was Patrick Ewing when you needed him?
Right.
The Knicks fall to number 3. And the Lakers jump to the top 4 again.
Of course.
2 years in a row, the Lakers jump in to the top 4 from way out of position. So they changed the percentage and all the rulings to give teams a better percentage. If the Knicks had the worst record last year, they would have had 25% chance. This year, only 14%, which allowed other teams to tank as well. So it was reverse, it backfired. More teams tanked late, and they moved up. The Grizzlies and the Pelicans moved to 2-1, and the Lakers also moved in after they tanked late as well to up their odds. Bucks rallied for a Game 1 victory against the Raptors after that tremendous buzzer beater by Kawhi. He hit it against the Sixers, reminiscent of Vince Carter. Oh, wait, no, he didn't hit it.
No, he didn't hit it.
That's right. Vince Carter did not hit it. It was Kawhi hitting it for the Sixers. Vince, there we have it. Oh, Lenny Wilkins looking on. The legend, Lenny Wilkins. I saw Lenny Wilkins many times when I lived in Atlanta. Went to many Hawks games when he was coaching down there. A legend. But Vince, not legendary. Vinsanity. Kawhi, legendary with that buzzer beater, was amazing. To knock the Sixers out in an epic Game 7. We had 2 good Game 7s that day as the Blazers, who fell to the Warriors, who looked pretty good with Durant injured. I think we're out of time.
Are we out of time?
That's it. Happy anniversary, Bob. To you and Jolene. Once again, we'll enjoy some of that cake.
Wow.
Jenna's here. All right, we're out of here. So long. We got cake.
We got cake.